You're listening to the Joint Sermons on the Push Media Podcast Network.
Apparently, Iran should have signed the deal.
What's that?
Trump. He said Iran should have signed the deal. Quote, the deal. So here's what he said. So you sound uninformed, which is depressing because your participation level should be at least equal, if not greater than mine, to this podcast.
Well, you cut out when you were saying that, so I didn't hear what you said.
I cut out. So
yeah,
if I really cut out, I'm going to edit that out, and then I just make it look like you don't participate. Okay. So here's what Trump said: Iran should have signed the deal I told them to sign. What a shame and a waste of human life. I'm not done, but I wanted to pause. So if they didn't agree to whatever deal, because it's in quote, that's a shame and a waste of human life. So they, okay. Simply stated, then all caps because he's screaming, Iran cannot, he can't spell, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I said it over and over again. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. That sounds like a nuclear threat.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty black and white. Like, what is he talking about? This guy's a fucking lunatic.
That's a direct threat to say you should evacuate your biggest city. Why are you going to bomb it? Like, I'm not kidding. Like,
also, that city has like 10 million people in it. Like, how the fuck would you evacuate a city that large that quickly?
But also another thing, let's play devil's advocate here. If we're really beefing, why are you giving shout outs to what we're about to do? Right?
Yeah.
Like if we were beefing and you're like, I have to go punch Juan in the face. You're not going to say, hey, homie, I'm going to get up and walk over to you and punch you in the face.
No, this is not SmackDown. I'm not going to cut a promo on you before I smack you. Come on.
So then Trump goes to the G7 in Canada, the 51st state.
Jesus.
God, I'm just so over this.
Can
someone take his phone?
No, I'm not going to say that. I mean, it just gets dumber with every day with this fucking moron.
He's stupid. He's a fellatio person. He likes to curl up and sell fellatio and likes other people to watch. They rim him while he sells fellatios. He's in the right position.
Just Mike Lee in there.
When he sells fellatios, do you think he's a top or a bottom?
I don't know. We'll have to ask Mike Johnson.
He's posting from, you mean Moses? Because that's Mike Johnson referred to himself as Moses and said God called him to. We'll get to that. All right. So Donald Trump goes to the G7 in the 51st state of Canada, the beautiful 51st state of Canada. And then says, publicity-seeking President Emmanuel Macron of France mistakenly said that I left the G7 summit in Canada to go back to D.C. to work on a, quote, ceasefire between Israel and Iran. Wrong! He has no idea why, and I am now on my way to Washington, but it certainly has nothing to do with a ceasefire. And why is he capitalizing ceasefire? Much bigger than that, whether purposely or not, Emmanuel always gets it wrong. Stay tuned.
What? Stay tuned?
So the thing is, that was before, let me get the timeline correct. That was before the previous post where he threatened Tehran. So he posted that, stay tuned, and then hours later posted the threat. By the way, he's posting threats to Tehran at 12:30 in a.m. So 2 hours and 15 minutes passed between these posts. And he's threatening in the middle of the night. Like he's like a 15-year-old kid having beef with a friend in like a group chat.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Just whacked out of his mind on fucking Adderall. Just like rage tweeting at 2:00 in the morning is a bad look for the leader of the quote unquote free world. Fuck out of here.
When is he gonna turn on the Pope? Or do you think he ever does? Because the Pope's been pretty consistent calling this out, talking about peace and talking about how you treat people and talking about we don't have kings And the only king
Well,
we have is Jesus. Like when he's going to
I
start
mean,
taking that personal at one point.
I mean, I think at this point, like it's just a matter of time. It's not when or if, it's when. And I mean, all the evangelicals are already turning anyway. So, which is also kind of ironic because now they're all pissed about the war with Iran. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, he said he's not going to start any wars. Yeah, you also believed a lying, grifting used car salesman with a shitty bronzer tan. Like, so spare me your indignation now. Oh, he
Speaking of
lied to
bronzer
you.
tans, did you see his new phone?
Oh, the $500 Chinese import that I'm sure he will waive the tariffs for himself.
I'm sure that
Yeah,
happened. I didn't even
um,
check the specs, and I'm going to,
I
but at
don't
one
care.
point. But my thing is, it's ugly. It's just stupid. Like this is stupid.
I mean, it's corny as fuck. The only thing I saw about it was gold, which big shocker.
It's also illegal because the president's not allowed to profit from his office. But whatever. Let's listen to good old Moses because it's been thousands of years before anyone got to hear since anyone got to hear his voice, and I, for one, would love to hear Moses directly. And for you doubters out there, Moses is real. And what a shame they've ruined the audio. So that's Mike Johnson speaking, and Twitter sucks. So Mike Johnson says that God called on him to be the new Moses.
I mean, these people, like, if this guy was walking down the street and talking like this, you would just think he had a mental issue or was tweaked out on meth. But no, that's a government official in a super high ranking position talking about he is a biblical character. What the fuck?
And one of the main characters in the Bible, and I would argue one of the main people in history, right? Like he's claiming to be an equivalent of the new version of that main person in history.
Evangelicals are
bad.
fucking crazy, dude. Like beyond crazy. They are a death cult.
Evangelicals are nuts.
Yeah.
Protestants get it wrong. And then specific to evangelicals, they are nuts.
Yeah. Oh, there's no question whatsoever. Like we were laughing about him having an accountability buddy for his porn intake, but Jesus Christ, we're way beyond that kind of batshit crazy nonsense.
I forget though, is that real? Does he actually have an accountability buddy?
Yeah, it's his son. Remember they had an app?
Oh gosh, that's right.
That same lunatic. Like it just
First of all,
reminds me of
I'm not going to draft my son to be my accountability buddy for my porn addiction.
well, he's not going to draft his kid to do anything.
Also though, that means he watches porn.
Yeah. Oh, but it's okay because Jesus
think it's
Christ
peg
saved
porn?
him. I don't know.
Like
Who knows
King of
with
the
these
Hill
fucking
cosplay
people?
porn. Oh, Peggy. Oh, get the propane. I got a leak. My narrow urethra.
Oh Lord.
Con Super Newsom phone.
Yes. Oh.
I love the way Con Super Newsom phone spoke. And I love the fact that show's coming back.
Yeah. Oh, did you see the
if
guy
it's
that?
watered down, though, I'm going to be annoyed.
Well, I mean, Dale Gribble, the guy that did Dale Gribble's voice, passed away too. So now we're down two
What?
original voices. Yeah, I think they got 6 shows into the new season, and he passed away.
So 2 is a coincidence and 3 is a pattern. So, boy, how fitting though that Dale Dribble died.
Yeah, I mean, imagine the show that they could have had with Dale Gribble with all this shit going on right now. Dale
I
Gribble,
always thought he should have been his own show.
Noted lover of the government.
Well, what I love is he's actually based on Alex Jones.
Yeah,
Like when Alex Jones was on, local public access cable television where he paid for his time slot, that's where they got the idea of him. That's where they watched. And a lot of the stuff came from that.
yeah. Mike
Yay,
Judge
frogs.
said it. Yeah, Mike Judge talked about that. He also talked about how Boomhauer came about because some guy would call in and complain about Beavis and Butthead, and he's like, I had no idea what this guy said, so I just kind of mimicked his voice until I got it.
First of all, have you ever seen him do a group interview or heard him do a group interview as the characters?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
He flawlessly goes in and out,
Yeah,
flawlessly without thinking, and he can communicate back and forth between the two. That's how that guy from Family Guy does. He can go back and forth and communicate as 4 different characters having a group conversation
Which is
live. And you're
nuts.
just like, that's insane to keep the character right, the language right, the voice right. Anyway, so You said, these evangelicals are getting butthurt. Like Joe Rogan's butthurt now.
No,
Noted atheist, by
good.
the way. Joe Rogan's a noted atheist.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that is a factual thing, so I'm saying it. It's just-
He also said he's been going to church more too. So take
Wait,
that
did he
for what
really
it's
say
worth.
that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What church?
I have no idea, but it was they were talking about
Yeah, we're in Texas. What church, pal?
it. Yeah. I'm sure it's some mega church.
I'm just what I'm saying. But he's apologizing for supporting Trump and now wants him impeached. Which he's right, going, hey, hold on, this is nuts. Get him out of there. That's valid.
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson's pretty much saying the same thing. Says his presidency is over because he's going to attack Iran and drag us into a war, and he has doing this and he's doing that. They don't like it. MTG also
Rats
can't
are
stand
scurrying.
Dude, let's go ahead and talk Neanderthals yet one more time.
Ugh.
She is a living Smithsonian exhibit. And if they don't literally have her there performing live to teach for the enrichment of children, it's just a waste.
Well, they say they can't have drag queens around kids, so I don't think she'd be able to go.
I think drag queens might be hotter.
Got him.
Yeah, that's what. Seriously, though.
I love how they're all jumping ship now. It's like, no. You're not
First
running
of all,
away from this one.
There's nothing wrong with jumping ship if you're like, wow, this person deceived us. But Trump didn't actually deceive anybody. He's
No,
always told you who he was.
Yeah,
this has
they-
never been his. Plus, he was president once before, so we know who he was.
Yeah, there's no shock to this. Like everybody
No.
knew this shit was going to happen. So this righteous indignation from these fucking idiots that supported him for this long. It's like, dude, you knew what he was going to do, and shit was hilarious when it was going for your way. But now that all of a sudden you disagree with them, and now you're going to have a spine. No,
And then the judges are ruling against him. Judges he appointed, and he's mad. I'm like, that. Well, they're supposed to rule on the side of the law.
yeah. Well, and he had his little tiny dick parade for his birthday, and nobody showed up.
That weakened us. So when you have
No.
a military parade with our strong missiles, that's what he said, with all the strong missiles. Whew. Anyway, you're supposed to look like a mighty force, right? Like, and I don't care, your opinions on the military, but they can march in lockstep.
Yeah, they did not look
Exact
good.
precision. And these guys didn't do that, if you notice, which almost makes me question, were these actually active military? Because they were not in locked. These guys weren't even basic. You learn
No.
to march on day one, and then that's it. You know how to march now. That's the first thing they teach you, how to march.
Yeah,
And then
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah. It was.
You know it.
It was not a good look for multiple reasons.
Plus,
but
we didn't
yeah.
have all the strong missiles, and we had old M1 tanks, and they squeaked, and the crowds there was like 8,000 people. They said,
Well, and did you see-
hundreds of thousands.
Well, and the DOD put out a clearly photoshopped picture of like the mall and shit, and it's like, no, dude, come on, like this is
No.
not even anywhere close to believable.
No, they probably went to ChatGPT and said, "Add people."
I wouldn't doubt it. It looked AI as fuck anyway.
Well, that's why he moved his inauguration indoors. No one was going to come, not enough people, and he knew that. Now, yes, it was literally below 20 degrees. So if he would have just said, "We're moving it indoors because below 20 degrees is stupid," I would have been like, "Yeah, I know, I get it." Not a surprise. I don't blame people for that. I don't think most people would. Yeah, it's freezing,
Yeah.
but because it's him, his ego was going to be hurt.
I mean, and he had people standing out in the hot ass weather for his stupid ass rallies
Yeah.
and shit. So I mean, as far as
Reagan had his indoors because it was below 20. It was like 12. And people
Yeah.
are like, yeah, we can't have people. The biggest thing is we can't, because they would have heaters for the dignitaries up there. But the people standing out there for hours waiting, Reagan's like, you can't have them sitting out here in 12 degrees. Like people are going to get sick and die. Like you can't do this, which is valid. But Trump just can't say that. He has to say,
no.
oh, it's too cold. Don't. You would have
It's-
gladly had people drop dead.
Oh,
Like being hit
without a
by
doubt.
cars.
Jesus, here's another banger.
Well, Ron DeSantis. So Governor of Florida says we have the right to hit protesters with cars.
Jesus,
Now,
I mean,
hear me out. If you surround my vehicle and make me feel threatened, I will run you over. Especially if my kids or my wife's in the car. I will assume you're here to harm me physically, and I will defend myself. And that includes running you over. That will happen. But a governor of a state should not be saying that. Right?
No, not at all. Well, and
If someone breaks into your house, you have the right to shoot that person out of fear.
yeah, well, and it's like these are the
But
same
they shouldn't
morons
say it.
that are like, oh, peacefully protest. Motherfucker, the only people doing the violence are the ones that show up with the riot shields, batons, and full like rollout kits. Like, it ain't the protesters bringing the violence.
Florida is something else, though. They got the sheriff down there in Florida, in Miami or whatever, saying, we will kill you graveyard dead.
Like, what is their fetish with wanting to kill civilians? Like, what
But
the
why
fuck
are you
is
talking
wrong
like
with
you're
this?
Wyatt Earp?
Well, and not only that, there wasn't even a protest in this little shitty city that he was in. Like, he's just swinging his little baby dick around and being like, "Oh, we'll kill you."
I will kill you graveyard dead. You hear me?
These fucking stupid ass rednecks get a badge and they just go wild. And it's like, yeah, no violence, but we'll kill you if you even look at me wrong. And I swear to God, you better not call me a thumb. Like, fuck off.
First of all, he's fat. Second of all, he wants to be a tough guy, so he talks tough. However, Wyatt Earp didn't carry a gun most of the time. And people, when he walked up, shut the hell up. Because he was actually tough. You know what I mean? But he was also a normal person and was kind, but he was tough.
I mean, look, you know what I mean? To quote one of your favorites, take off your badge and your gun and I'm going to fuck you up.
Okay, first of all, that was cosplaying.
The point being is they hide behind their badge and their gun because they're pussies. And he wasn't wrong about that.
Correct. He's not wrong about that. He's not wrong. So anyway, Trump knows the art of the deal, and Iran should know that he knows the art of the deal because, I mean, he's Trump. First of all, Iran, big mistake, Iran. What a waste of human life. I'm just saying, throwing that out there.
I mean, didn't he pull us from the Iran deal in his first presidency? When this
pulled
shit
us
would
from
have
the
been
Iran
in
deal.
line? Yeah.
But he also created a problem with tariffs with China and increased them to, what was it, like 256%, like some stupid number that's not real. Some made-up
number, yeah.
At the point when President Xi's like, okay, this is no longer real, so we're done. Yeah. And they just walked off like, okay, forget it.
Good.
That's like me saying I'm selling my car for $100 billion. Well, I'm not buying it, so it's stupid.
Bye. It was like Dr. Evil levels of stupid with that one.
But Trump got him down to just 10%. So basically, we only have to pay 10% more than we were paying before. What? I'm calling on you, Doc, to raise your rent.
Oh, God.
Voluntarily. Go on. Go negotiate.
I mean, it's like, his logic must hit super hard if you're just a fucking dumbass. Like,
well, they're stupid. They
self-fellatio. Oh, God.
Yeah. Anyway, House Republican leader, speaking of the other atrocity of the Trump era, the House Republican leader said multiple times that not all jobs should pay livable wages.
Then that's not a job. That's fucking forced labor.
No, it's not forced labor, but there's something to say about that. So if you're looking to hire someone to walk your two dogs while you're at work, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can do that for you. And I'm going to charge you $20 an hour to do that. And it's 4 hours a day. And I go, okay, agreed. You're not going to live off that. And that is your job. You just sold that. So he's right about that. But that's such the weird things to say, because what he's really saying is, I don't care how much you need to live. It doesn't matter. It's not my problem, is what he's saying.
The federal minimum wage is still $7.25. These assholes make $180,000 a year. Let his bitch ass work for like Walmart wages, and we'll see how long he keeps that fucking, that attitude. It's like everybody wants a burger, but nobody wants to pay for it.
Joke's on you, Jack, because the Walmart new hire packet comes with instructions how to apply for food stamps. Idiot.
And that is exactly.
Feel stupid now?
I love how like the biggest welfare queens are these fucking corporations. What is it, like 43% of their workforce relies on like food banks and shit because they pay so little?
I guess. So let's talk about racism for a minute. And not Tennessee Umphy's racism with hot biscuits and honey, but I'm talking about.
Whoa.
Excuse me?
No slander.
I've seen a video. Here's what's spooky is I have never searched for Umphy's, but I saw a YouTube video come across recommended to me. So shout out to the NSA. And so this guy walked in there and worst video ever, but the food looks like it was screaming.
Oh, yeah, I've seen the video because I was searching for it. And yeah, it is the worst review video ever, but yeah.
And it looked good.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, yeah, no, yes, I would, yes, pre-heart attack me would have ate that. So Senator Hawley,
Another genius.
the Grand Knight of the Republican Party.
Captain Courage himself, the pussy that ran on January 6th.
Yeah, that's another thing. I don't blame you if there's a large mob coming towards you and you're not sure what's going on. You're like, I got to get out of here. Makes sense, self-preservation, but you can't tough talk me later.
Yeah, absolutely not. You ran like a bitch.
You can't. Because also, retreating is a tactical thing, and he's an officer in the military. He should know that. Yeah, I got out of the way. I can't fight 100 people, so I left.
I would
have said yes. Like the senator from Oklahoma who tried to challenge the Teamster leader.
No.
But he also was crouching down and hiding. Again, I don't blame him for crouching down. There was secessionists in the Capitol. They were chanting. They were doing things. No one knew what was going on. You could be in danger. I get it. There was gunshots. There was like 3 gunshots. So, yes, sure. But then you tough talk. You tough talk like an Irish union leader, which is stupid. Stupid. It makes no sense.
No.
It shouldn't happen. Give me a second here. I'm trying to find out what he said. So he said that all these protesters should go back to the country where he came from.
You mean Los Angeles?
No, Mexico, because he's seen it was a group of brown people and decided they need to go.
Well, they don't have brown people in Missouri, I guess. I don't know. Maybe not in his neighborhood.
Well, that's what I don't understand.
I mean, it's just naked racism with these fucking idiots. You know what I mean? And it always will be. And there's nothing you can convince me otherwise. You know what I mean? It's they want to say the hard R so bad. Like, I mean, it's blatant and they're disgusting.
Can say the hard R. Retarded's legal now.
Well, clearly they're running our government, so here we are. Yay!
Boy, what a turn of events that turned out to be. Right? I was like, well, you can say retarded again, and Trump's like, we're all retarded. But you don't see brown people protesting. They need to go back to the country from which they came.
Yeah, I mean, imagine that.
Imagine you found brown people in Los Angeles. No way.
Wait, Mexicans are in Los Angeles? Holy shit! I got to call my friends and let them know.
Right. But you just assume they don't belong because they're brown. That's the tell, though. They don't belong. That's like calling them illegal.
Yeah.
Because they're brown, which is just as racist. But whatever. Trump also said that he's going to change in a nod towards racism, change the bases back to like Confederate leader names.
Yeah,
like Robert E. Lee. Well, why in the world I don't think we should erase Robert E. Lee. We need to teach it so we can say this is what happened. Let's recognize it so we can try to not have that happen again. But he tore apart our country because he wanted to own people.
Yeah, and that's not even up for debate. Like all these fucking revisionists will be like, "Well, it was about states' rights." It's like, yeah, which states' rights, moron?
It was state rights, but what rights were they fighting for? Their right to own people.
Exactly. Well,
so you could say states' rights all day, which is true. See, that's the thing. That's good marketing. That's where the socialists and union people get it wrong. They don't know how to phrasing and marketing, but they do it better than you.
Wow. Look, here's the thing. Whenever you're saying you want to name it after a legitimate piece of shit, traitor to this country, and you do it in front of the U.S. military, I can only assume that you can't be racist enough. And we're changing Fort Bragg to the N-word.
And what about, to Moses again, calling for Gavin Newsom to be tarred and feathered?
Okay, hold on now. I mean, I hate Gavin Newsom, but yeah, that's just completely ridiculous.
Do we know the origins of tar and feathering?
No, he probably does. It's the stoic racism that these idiots pump all fucking day, and then they're shocked when one of their lunatic followers goes out and starts fucking killing Democrats and shit. And it's like, what the hell is wrong with you people? Take a look in the mirror. This is your fault. You did this. Own it.
But let's also acknowledge that Gavin Newsom isn't the person he thinks he is.
No, hell no. Listen, the reason why
I'm not talking about all the rumors in San Francisco for decades of him, slobbing knobs with Nancy Pelosi's husband, because I don't know if those are true or not. I just know I've heard of them for decades. But I'm talking about this tough guy talk, and he's, look at me, got you. This is where liberals lose me. I made an AI meme, and I got you, Trump.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, and it was like just like the other libs. And Swalwell was complaining about like the troops that they sent to fucking LA to beat the shit out of protesters. Oh, had to sleep in parking garages. My God, if you think that that's a gotcha, this is why I cannot stand liberals, because they look at it and they're like, well, we're nice to the guys that we're sending to beat your ass. So do better, Republicans. Fuck out of here.
And then LAPD is saying that they didn't know these raids were going to happen. And the Homeland Security came out and said, false.
Yeah, they
We
knew.
told you 2 days prior.
Yeah, Karen Bass knew. She let that shit happen. She could have called off the goon squad.
She could do it now. Yeah, she's in charge. That's again, when I elect me president and I'll do this. Well, you're the president now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They showed a clip of Joe Biden and his family going into some restaurant in Philly over the weekend. And people were like, thank you, Mr. President, for everything you did. Everybody kept hugging him and shaking. Thank you. And I was like, what? Thank you for lying and deceiving us about your health and your mental state while you got your finger on a button and you didn't do anything, actually.
Yeah, well, the duopoly system is broken, irrevocably broken. It's never, until we get a viable third party that actually puts like shit like that on the front page and change something, we're going to be stuck in this like loop of stupidity forever.
I'll tell you what I love, though, is the self-fellatio. What?
Nothing. Man, they got that shit on lock.
They? See, you're doing the same thing they are.
Yeah. What?
Being racist.
Not. That was the royal they.
The what?
I'm just making shit up now. It's the royal they.
Oh, the royal they, like the Oxford comma.
Something like that.
So go ahead and say it. You said it. I'm going to give you your opportunity. I told you at the end of the podcast.
The
Go ahead and
joke.
say it. Go ahead. Go.
Well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate you. It is Pride Month, so I'm
That's
proud
not
of
what we
you.
discussed, but thank you. Thank you.
The mustache is coming in nicely, and
Is that a
yeah,
nod towards my bike?
it is. It is.
I'm a bike influencer now.
You are.
I had 2 friends buy a bike, and one say they want to buy a bike now. So I'm just saying,
Yeah.
pay attention
No, you're
before.
a-
What kind of bike are you going to end up getting?
Oh
Mr.
man.
iPhone, Apple Watch. I buy everybody Apple products in my house because I'm influenced.
I would like to get a dyno, or I would like to get a Predator, because I'm going old school. I'm going BMX with it. Put mag wheels on it.
So
Pigs
you're
on the
basically
front, pigs on the
describing
back.
you're describing a bike in the apocalyptic times that you happen to run across. And you're like, oh, I'll take that because there's nothing else.
First of all, you've seen Rad. You know Canon.
First of all,
you would ride one too.
I loved, and I will tell you something. We were out riding, me and my son, and we came across a bump park, little bumps and jumps you can do.
Yeah.
So, Mom, check this out. So we were going and just goofing off. And I was like, oh yeah, there's a movie called Rad. And I was trying to explain it to him. I'm just saying. Yeah, I love that movie. I went to a theater it was like one of the 5 times I went to a theater.
Yeah. They're like, hey, check this out. At the end of the movie, when there's a prom, we're dancing on bikes. And somebody was like, do it.
Well, why not? Footloose was a hit.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're going to be maybe one more episode and then we'll be out for July because Freedom Month. I mean, I'm celebrating my freedom.
Oh, me too.
And,
Gonna get the biggest American flag and hang it outside my house. Get ready.
but we may come back to gloat once Puffy gets found guilty because why not?
Well, Trump already said he might pardon them, so there's that.